Hey, 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 what's happening, everyone? And Audio Inc. is back. We're back to do some more mischief. It's been a while. We took a little bit of a break, and now we're back rolling. We're going to have some guests. We're going to have, I guess we're going to have a couple of co-hosts popping in and out, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about things like what's going on in the St. Louis scene as far as music and arts, and then we're going to talk about things outside the area occasionally, music related, and just have a good time and talk about our opinions on things and just kind of, I don't know, feel out the room, feel the space. Right, Joe?
Sounds like a plan, man.
All right. That sounds good to me. And today, our very, very special guest, someone that I love so much. I've known him forever and a day. So if you go forever and then you add a day, that's how long I've known this gentleman here, Mr. Tony Patrico.
Yo, what's happening, man?
What's up, baby?
Hey, man, thanks for having me on, dude. I've watched in the past, and I knew some point down the road we'd link up and do this, and I'm excited that today's the day, man.
Heck yeah, man. I appreciate you coming in. And we're going to talk about all kinds of fun stuff. We got this little game that I brought in.
I agreed to 0 games, by the way. I said no foolishness, no shenanigans, no mischief, no games.
There's got to be shenanigans. Always shenanigans. Oh. It's a thing where I kind of want to pick a subject and I put them in a hat and the guest draws on them. And there's the hat right there. And he gets to pick 3 items or 3 subjects, and he can throw one back, but we'll discuss the other 2. And it could be anything crazy or whatever I think that week I'm going to throw in there and have them pick it. So it's kind of a cool thing, just kind of keep the air out and everything else. But let's start the subject today on music. And you're a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Always been a DJ.
I am.
But I don't think very many people know that you're also a songwriter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is it considered songwriting? Like, is what I'm doing songwriting?
I get songs from you, and they're complete songs.
Yeah.
They have a verse, a bridge, a chorus. To me, that's a song.
Okay, well then, yeah, I guess I am a songwriter. I dabble.
You
in
dabble in
songwriting.
it?
Yeah, and it's weird, man, because like you're like, oh, you're a songwriter. That doesn't even cross my mind because like this is an outlet for me. This is something I do because some people go work on their car. Some people go and they build a deck or they garden. Me, this is what I do. Music is what I do. When I need a minute to go, like, I gotta escape this. Or if I just need a minute to where like, I'm in a horrendous mood, I want to like turn myself around. It's usually some way, shape, or form involved in creating music.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. I truly use music as an outlet. Like a lot of people say that, but I actually do it.
It's what keeps me sane. You know, in my chaotic, silly life, music is a godsend. It's one of those things that you're right. Whenever if I'm having a bad day, I'll just come home and feed my dogs and plug in the bass and play.
Mm-hmm.
And it just changes the mood. So it's great that you're experiencing. So you're a musician.
I would never claim to be a musician, but I like to create music.
Okay, so
if that makes sense, because musician to me is I play an instrument.
Okay, well,
or am I wrong there?
No.
Hold on a second. Your instrument can be your vocals as well. So
I mean, I guess so. I mean, I lay down some pretty dope hip hop beats and throw some lyrics over it. But I mean, like, I don't know. When I hear the term musician, immediately the first thing that comes to mind is I play blank. I mean, that's just like, would you consider the lead singer of the band, is he a musician or is he a vocalist?
It depends on how specific you want to be. And here's how I mean that, or why I'm saying that. A long time ago, DJs who scratched records.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those were mute. That was an instrument. I agree.
But when it first came out, it wasn't considered an instrument.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And bands like Incubus and Limp Bizkit started incorporating it into band situations, because before it was a you know, rap guys did it.
Yeah.
You know, it was hip hop, and it wasn't considered instrumentation. It wasn't an instrument. It was just a DJ.
Yeah.
You're playing music.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that technology has advanced so much that people that create music, even on a computer, that computer becomes an instrument.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right.
So, and I know there's going to be, you know, this debate about, you know, AI and I want to discuss that with you, the whole AI thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, musicians play an instrument, and a keyboard. What's the difference between a keyboard
And a computer.
Yeah,
You're right. I mean, you're right. Especially like, okay, so based on the logic that I just said, is, you know, being a vocalist or working on your computer considered a musician, I've just eliminated the entire EDM world. I just, based on my logic, they are not musicians, which I think is a crime to say that, because they're putting that stuff together. That is music. That is their craft. They are a musician.
So would it make you feel better if somebody called you a sound engineer?
No. Because that sounds like I'm running sound,
right,
and I'm checking levels and I'm making sure, you know, that I think it's weird, because again, I think it's just me trying to be humble and being like, guys, I'm using a program that anybody can use. I'm putting the beats together the way anybody else can do it. I'm just doing it this way. And then I put my vocals over it. So it's like, in my brain, I will never consider myself a musician, but technically what I'm doing, yes, I am.
Because the more and more you do it, the better and better you get at it.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like an instrument, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if I played bass every day for 9 hours a day, which I don't, I wish I could, but I don't, I would get better, faster, and be a better musician. If I never pick up the bass and only go out to play shows, I stay stagnant.
Yep.
If you're creating music on a computer and you do it once a month, you're going to stay stagnant. You're not going to really do anything special. But like you're on it, you're growing, you're getting better and better. It becomes a skill.
Yeah.
And I think with the way our technology is going, you know, I think that with bands and musicians and AI, this new thing. I mean, some of these AI songs that this, you know, AI is doing are great. You can't.
Oh, they're incredible.
Yeah.
And I've been messing around with a lot of AI sound, you know, song creation, because I write a lot as far as lyrics are concerned. I write a lot, man, like a lot. And I've done this for my entire life. So I have like notes upon notes upon notes in my phone of just songs, full songs that I've written, that in my head, I know how they sound. Now, I've done some research in the past about like, how do I get this song to be a song?
Right.
And, you know, after looking all of it, I'm like, that's a lot of money for me to do that, to find a session musician, to play the parts that I want it to play and how I want it to sound, and then find the vocalists, because I can't sing. You know, I can rap a little bit, but I can't sing. So like, you got to find that. Then all of a sudden, an app comes out where it does all that for me, man.
Right.
And all I got to do is really hone in and learn the prompts and learn how it responds to those prompts.
Right.
And then I can hand feed it my lyrics. I can hand feed it exactly how I want it to sound. And in 3 to 5 minutes, that song's done.
Right.
And it's exactly how I want it to sound.
Right.
And then all I do is I take it and then I put it into my audio editing software, and then I tweak some things, put some reverb on the vocals, drop this out, add this beat, add this bass line, and I push all this stuff in. Next thing you know, I've got a 17-song album of AI songs that I've created with my lyrics exactly the way that I wanted them to sound.
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable to me. And there's one thing that, and I'm interested on your take on this, man.
Sure.
Because there's one thing, like, when I started telling a couple people that I was doing this, they're like, so you're just going to try and kill off every band out there? And I'm like, no. And they're like, then why even do this? And I'm like, well, I'm not doing this to make any money. Like, it's not like I'm putting out an album and announcing a tour. Like, you're never going to be able to experience this live. you know,
Right.
unless I find a band that knows how to replicate it, find a singer that knows how to, like, you'd never,
Right.
you know? So like, I'm doing this because it takes my songs that have lived in my head for years.
Right.
And now I get to hear them.
Well, you know, the funny thing is streaming services killed bands.
Oh yeah.
So this is like what happens.
Mhm.
This is the next step because now artists can't afford to go into the studio. They're not going to be able to afford to, hire guys in for their bands. Cause like,
Right.
bands are, if you're a younger kid and you don't have any, job, you're living with your mom and your dad. Yeah, you could, be in a band and tour around. But when you get in your mid 20s and 30s, like it's tough out there in the world. So you got to have a full-time job. You got to do the things, to live.
And especially now, man, you can't
Yeah.
do anything on the cheap. You cannot do a single thing on the cheap. I remember going to get my kids McDonald's the other day and looking at the value menu and going, where the hell did the dollar menu go? Like, you can't get anything there for like,
I just said value.
it's absolutely insanity. You know,
Yeah.
it's like nothing is cheap anymore. So
Yeah.
I can only imagine the cost of studio time. And again, like you said, a lot of people think it's just like a band rents a studio, they come in, they plug in their equipment and they start jamming. No, you need the engineer there. You
Yeah.
need this person there and this and this. And then all of a sudden the prices just become outrageous. You can't afford to do anything.
Yeah, Cabo, or, those you don't know, my band Cabo, we are in the studio. We're doing an EP and an extended EP. And
You guys are dropping that EEP?
yeah, it's funny. It started off as 4 songs, and I think it's 9 now. And then we have a 4-song cover EP. And so the thoughts are to release them both as EPs, maybe combine them and do one. We don't know what we're going to do. And then we're talking about actually recording another record next year. And it's like, you look at the receipts from the studio time. We record down at Sawhorse, down in South City.
Yep.
And it's expensive.
Right.
And it's a great deal. Like the hourly rate is it's a good rate. I mean, it's the
it's
normal
expensive,
rate.
but it should be.
Yeah.
This
But-
is not something to take lightly.
Right.
So
but
like,
as a band, you walk in and you do pre-pro, and then you track drums, and then then you're there for a day or two doing drums, and then you're there for a day or 2 or 3 to do bass and rhythm guitars, and then you got to do lead guitars, and that's like 4 days, and then you got to come back and do vocal. Next thing you know, you're 2.5, 3 weeks in. And you look at the bill and you're like, geez,
So what about like these bands nowadays that are like, I call them the TikTok bands, the bands that have one song that they hitch everything to. Are those bands going and getting studio time and recording that one song?
Yeah.
And then they're hoping it hits. And
Yeah.
then if it does hit, they go, maybe this will be other things. And is that why I see a lot of these bands come out with a killer song and I like it on TikTok and I'm like, this is the jam. And then you never hear from them again. And my thought is because most bands are going in and recording an EP or an album or multiple songs.
I think you're not hearing about those bands anymore because labels don't do that anymore. They don't develop bands. They do, like, that was a thing when after we had our first deal, everyone seemed to be getting singles deals. And, there's no way we were doing a singles deal on the second record or the third. We were like, no, that's just ridiculous because they basically just throw your song out there, and if it catches fire, they'll put some money behind it. If it doesn't catch fire, they move on to the next one.
So they just do it trial by fire.
Yeah, there's no artist development anymore, and a lot of people get upset because bands don't do this anymore. They're not like they used to be. Well, it's not that the bands aren't like it used to be. It's because bands have had to change because of the industry nowadays and how the labels deal. The labels want to make their money. And then when LimeWire and Napster was a thing, I mean, like my band Cabo, we had a #1 single on our first single in 2008, 2009 timeframe. And when our record finally came out, we only sold 79,000 copies.
And that's crazy. It's because everybody already had it.
Everybody stole it. Everybody downloaded it off of Napster for free,
That's
so
insane.
Music lost its value, and the labels, they're not going to want to, take a pay cut to themselves, so they figure out a way to get more and more money. And what that comes off of bands and artists. So
Yeah.
artists have to change how they do it. And, AI is the next thing, because now an artist like Bruno Mars, if he ever decided, hey, I'm tired of paying this label, I'm tired of paying this, I'm not, and he's a phenomenal artist, but suppose he did something on a computer and he wrote a whole record on a computer, and if he used AI, it would still be Bruno Mars.
Correct.
And then if he wanted to go out and play live, he would hire a band, right?
Yeah.
And so you'd have the instrumentation from instrumentation. I don't know what the heck I just said.
It's all right. I filled in the blanks.
So he would have the instrumentation there, and if he wanted to play live, he would just hire guys to play.
Yeah.
And then he's saving money. He'd probably be able to pay the guys a little bit more and not owing the label or, a studio, 100,000, 200,000, $250,000 to record a record,
That's wild. Now, okay, so you said it yourself, LimeWire affected you guys back in the, right before the 2010s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Streaming services hits. You guys are still putting out music.
Yep.
You guys, once again, adapt. You overcome that. How does somebody put out music in 2025 right now? I mean, what is the key to not only putting out music, but putting out music where people are going to go, this is something I want to listen to?
TikTok was the thing last year and the year before, and I don't know if it's the thing now. Because, streaming services don't pay.
Right.
Like, Apple Music pays the best as of, I guess, a couple of years ago, and Spotify, and on some of these other ones, they all don't pay anything. You have people like Snoop Dogg who will have, several million streams, and he'll get a check for $79.
Yeah.
Okay, so a band like mine, we're not doing 70 million streams in a month.
Yeah. People always ask, and they're like, do you know a lot about the music industry. How much does somebody get if I listen from start to finish to one of their songs? And I'm like, the last time I saw like a number, it was like 0.00007 cents.
Yeah. It's not,
it is.
Yeah.
You have to listen to that song on loop for 48 hours for them to make a dime.
Right.
It's
so the
insanity.
live thing has become where artists get their money and merch.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you guys go out to see your favorite bands, go see them live and buy their merch, because that's what they're living off of.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's why, like, we just came from a music festival in Mansfield, Ohio called Incarceration. And I think that's why, Marilyn Manson was there.
Yeah.
And it was the only U.S. show for Slipknot. And it's like, these festivals are big, but I'm like, those are like giant names. And I'm like, I bet this is where they make money.
Yeah.
Like, this is where they make money now.
Yep.
And it's insane to me. And it's wild to think that, we used to live in a time where people were lining up outside of a Sam Goody for a midnight release of Limp Bizkit's Significant Other. And now you'd have to listen to that album 8 million times for them to even get a pat on the back from anybody.
Right. And the funny thing was, if you wanted to listen to the song, you had to buy their whole record.
Yeah. I remember they did have singles, but even the singles that were out, like, it had, 4 songs on it, but it was the single, and it also cost you $8 for $4 more. You could buy the whole CD, but yeah, man, I remember being so excited to flip through the booklet. Like, flipping through the booklet was one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah, I used to read the thank yous.
Yes, I did too, man. I remember the first time I actually got mentioned in a thank you. And I was like, oh, I'm going to cry right now. I think I might cry. I actually might cry.
Same.
And it was, it's one of those things where it's like, that's gone. That's gone. My daughter listens to Spotify. She racks up tons and tons of hours on Spotify. And I keep thinking to myself, like, she will never know what it's like to not be able to listen to your song because there's a scratch on your CD.
Yeah.
Because everything's just right there at any moment.
These young kids miss the whole experience of listening to a full record.
Yeah.
Like Def Leppard's Hysteria,
Mm-hmm.
Gods of War, Run Riot are 2 of my favorite songs on that record.
Yeah, I still to this day, I'll go to an album on Spotify and I'll hit play and I'll listen to the full album. There's very few albums I'll do that, but I still do. And I can't imagine my daughter liking anything enough to do that, to listen to an hour straight of the same artist.
Yeah. And that's part of the reason why AI can be a wonderful tool for artists, because as an artist, it's hard to make money. It's hard to make a living out there. So you got to try to cut expenses where you can. So I see AI as this new tool for people to create music, and you're going to have people who may not be so talented create a great song and put stuff out. And it's just like it was in the 80s, where you had some bands that were phenomenal. You had some bands that were horrible, and they were super famous. And you're like, how the heck? They wrote a great song.
Yeah. It was funny because when I was sharing with Joe this, band that I created, which by the way, I called it 3-1 Core because I tried to keep like the whole album kind of metalcore. But there's one of the songs on there where I was like, if Cavo did metalcore music, this could fit right in with them. And I think that's one of the other things that I love is because artists could use AI to assist them, and they may be stuck on a bridge. They may be stuck on the ending of a song, and then they just pipe in some of the prompts. And as soon as they pipe it in, they may get something shot back to them where they hear it. They don't necessarily use it, but they go, that's what it needs to sound like.
Yeah.
And it can help them. It could be that missing piece to the puzzle of, like you said, a great song. And that's something that completely set somebody off.
And it could be pre-production. An artist could take it, create everything AI, then go to his band and be like, hey, here's some song ideas I got.
Yeah.
They take those and then they add their thing to it, maybe change a chord around, or then it's just, a tool to make it. Like, I think some of these, I'm not going to say older people because I'm old.
No, we're not. Don't you dare say that.
I don't know. We're old now.
No, you don't. You dare.
So some of these artists out there are musicians. It's the fear of evolving, and evolution can be a scary thing.
Yeah.
But the music industry is constantly evolving, and if you're holding on to what you did 20 years ago, you're standing at the dock with your ticket and the boat's halfway across the sea by now.
Yeah, you can't even see it anymore.
Yeah,
it's gone.
So it's like you just have to accept it. Like, there's a lot of people who get pissed off about AI, and I'm just like, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I'm still going to create music, and if it comes down to it, if that's something that I have to do to create music, then that's what I'll do.
Yeah, and guess what? AI isn't perfect, guys.
Yeah.
Like, there are plenty of songs and ideas that I tried to punch in to really spit back what I wanted, and it came back a jumbled mess, and it was horrendous, So like, there's some ideas where I would love to have AI assist me, but there's some ideas where I just have to go and I have to pull out the little keyboard and the little pad that I have, and I have to go, I'm going to do this one myself.
Yeah.
And that's still the beauty of it, is that there can be a happy meld of both of those things, to where this can be either my inspiration or it can help me complete this project where I don't rely on it, but I still get to put my personal touch on it as
100%. And it's just an evolution. You remember auto-tune?
Oh, yeah.
If someone used auto-tune 20 years ago, you were a piece of shit.
Yeah, yeah. It was awful. I remember they were giving T-Pain so much hell to where the point where the dude was like putting out music where he was no longer using auto-tune, and people were like, T-Pain sucks now. And it's not because he couldn't sing, it's because they took away the thing that we loved about it.
Yeah. And if you really want to be honest with you, musicians a long time ago, you weren't thrown to a grid. You weren't perfectly in time,
Yeah.
And so, music had a swing to it, like jazz and everything. It had a groove and there was a swing to it. And, now if you want something perfectly aligned, you throw it to a grid. If you want to have some swing, you play it with swing. Like, it just gives you the ability to do more. And,
and tell me now, it's funny because it doesn't matter if it's hip hop, if it's country, if it's pop, if it's rock, if it's metalcore, everybody is using auto-tune again.
Oh yeah.
100%. Everybody.
100%.
And guess what? Nobody cares anymore.
Well, I mean, you could do what the R&B artists used to do. Spend 3 days to do one song.
Yeah.
And they made these people sing every single phrase 1,000 times to get the perfect one.
Yeah.
And it's like,
nobody's got time for that.
You can't afford it.
Yeah. Nobody's got time or funds to make that happen.
So
anymore.
auto-tune becomes something that you use, and when you throw things to a grid and it makes minor adjustments, it is what it is. You just move on with it. You're like, okay. I mean, a long time ago, I'd have been like, man, you can't throw my bass onto a grid. Now I'm like, okay.
If it's going to sound cool,
Yeah.
then do it. Let's do it. What's the main goal?
Yeah.
To put out something that people want to hear, that somebody can say, wow, this is my favorite song. And yes, of course, from the business side, to have this blow up and you guys make a ton of money.
Yeah.
So if I need a little whoop whoop, okay, give me that whoop whoop. Give me that little adjustment, that little tweak that's going to make this from just this is track 7 on this CD,
Yeah.
or this is track 12. I can't tell you how many track 12s I've skipped in my life on CDs because I know that's just where they buried the crap.
Yeah.
You know, but if you could go whoop whoop and that track 12 goes to track 3, I'm all for it, man.
Yeah.
Let's put out music that people love, that people want to listen to,
Right.
and that people can connect with. That's what it is.
100%. And then also you have like in live situations, you know, Cabo, we have a song that has an organ
Yeah.
on it. Well, we play tracks.
Yeah.
We're not going to hire a guy to come out to play on 1 or 2 songs.
Yeah. Right. And that's another thing. And I used to be one of those guys where like I would be almost critiquing and looking for them. Are they playing the tracks? That's not matching up. I think I hear the drum click, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like all about it. And then like at this festival, I realized that one of the bands that we were very excited to see was playing to tracks and had a little snafu on that track. And you could look around and see the people's faces like, what? Wait, what? And I'm like, that dude's still singing. That guy's still playing the guitar.
Right.
That guy's still playing the drums.
Right.
Guess what? I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
If they need a little help, they need a little assistance to make sure they're on time,
Yeah.
to make sure they're hitting those right notes,
Uh-huh.
so be it.
Yeah.
So be it.
Cabo released Bridges, we hired Victor to
Mhm.
play
Yeah.
keyboards for us. We did the whole show. We had he played keyboards. He even added some stuff because there were songs we didn't have keyboards on.
Yeah.
And then we started playing shows and we played some out of town. He wasn't available. So
Mhm.
what do? Are we going to sit down and have 2 weeks worth of practice for another guy to
Yeah.
get him caught up to go out on the road for, we were doing one-offs at the time. We weren't on a tour.
Yeah.
It's not worth the time and the money. So you just go, screw it. We just got to play it with tracks.
Yeah. And guess what? Nobody cares.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody cares. You'll have some music purists that'll say something, that'll find every reason to say something wasn't the best.
Right.
But guess what? I still have a great time.
Yeah. And if people bought records like they did back in the 80s and the 90s, bands would be able to afford, 7 different people on the stage that aren't in the band to fill out the noise. But bands
Yeah,
just
you heard
can't
it. You
afford
heard it here first, folks. It's your fault. It's your fault.
It's that damn Napster and that LimeWire and streaming. That's what killed us.
Well, hey man, that's what I try and do on my show is just talk about music and talk about like local music and try and get people interested in bands like that. And I love always talking about bands that are from here that live 3 houses down from you that you have no idea are in a band.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, these are folks that live here that are still nationally known, putting out music, really representing St. Louis in a big way.
Right.
And I felt like that there wasn't a whole lot of highlighting that. So it's nice to like be able to talk about, some of the bands that myself and you and Joe that we've seen that, yeah, they get talked about on the local scene a little bit, but like, I couldn't tell you when to go see some of those bands when I was like really into remember the band Soul Descenders?
No.
A bunch of
I
young
do.
kids
Yeah.
that just like
Oh my
rocked,
God,
man.
the
They
talent.
just shredded. I think the drummer for Soul Descenders is actually drumming for Inimical Drive right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so like these were like young kids back then,
Yeah,
but they were like
so good.
shredding, man. And
Yeah.
I remember seeing them on the Points local show all the time
Yeah.
and seeing them at Pops.
I
But
miss
like,
the local show. That's kind of why we created this.
I know, man. I miss it so much.
Yeah.
But like, I would have never known, besides Pops, I would have never known where to go see those bands.
Right.
There are so many venues in our own backyard that are hosting these types of shows that, with Sounds of STL, I just try and highlight all of that, man. And it keeps the music scene alive. And that is something that's so important because like you said, the records are gone. The albums are gone, man. That went by the wayside. That was a huge way for bands to make money. If people stop going to shows, it's over.
Right.
Like nobody's going to make a song for you to listen to in your Toyota Camry. That's not why they're making the song. They're making the song so you could go buy the album / go buy the ticket / go buy the $45 t-shirt.
Right.
That's what they want you to do, is come out and support them. That's the best way to give back to music.
100%. 100%. Do you remember, what was the name of the kid band? It was like Ash, or I can't think of it. It was a 3-piece.
Logos?
No.
Those guys were
They were
too.
incredible, but they broke up when they graduated from high school.
There was a few of them.
My God, I can't.
How long ago was this?
A couple of years ago.
Oh, a couple of years ago.
I wanted them on our show. I wanted them on the show, and then one of them went to college.
I was going to say, isn't that crazy? A band that probably, super talented. If they kept with it and they kept going, we could have been, sitting on the next big thing in rock music. And instead, some jerk had to go to University of Arkansas, broke up the damn band.
Right.
Unbelievable.
See, I came up at a time when the St. Louis scene was huge. It was massive. You would go down to the Landing, and there was like 5, 6, 7, 8 different clubs. They all had original bands going on. And then the big bands were playing at Mississippi Nights, or it was a national act at Mississippi Nights. And the whole Landing was buzzing.
Yeah. And it's crazy because a lot of people, talk about Nashville, but like, imagine that, but not so much country.
Yeah.
And that's what the Landing was. When the Landing was hopping, that's what it was. You walk down and like, there were, it wasn't all rock. I mean, it was primarily rock, but I mean, like, it was your classic rock was playing at this bar. And then there was that, the scene was playing kind of over here.
Right.
And then down the way, there was like a piano bar. So like, there was always something for everybody to do, but it was Nashville and it was like Main Street down there, but it was St. Louis.
Yeah.
And it felt St. Louis. Kind of a little grimy.
Yeah.
You went down there, you're like, at times.
It depends on where you went. 'Cause you could go to the American Saloon down there and catch some of those guys. You can go to Kennedy's and you could see the Urge with
Mississippi Nights.
Sinister Dane or the Eyes, Pale Divine, or the Thugs or something. You could go see these bands. Like one of my favorite bands was Sinister Dane back in the day with Donald. And they would just destroy. And of course the Urge, another one of my favorite bands, would just kill it. King of the Hill. Like they had so many Broken Toys back then.
Gravity Kills.
Gravity Kills.
Oh, yeah.
Stabbing
There
Westward.
I mean, you could go down to the Landing and you could go see any of those bands playing. Or if you wanted to see covers, you could go to Boomers.
Yeah.
Or you could go to Trainwreck and you could watch covers.
Yep.
It was like anything and everything was down there. And you could just walk around and be like, oh, my favorite band's playing there, but they get done at 10:30. I'm going to go down and get some drinks down at Boomers, and you could watch a killer band like Mike Zito playing down there, or Paint the Earth or somebody, Gargle Rain, or whatever it was. Or you could go down there and watch them play, and you can hear all the songs that are on the radio, and they're killing it. And you're like, God, the St. Louis scene was just amazing back in the day.
I miss areas like that, man.
Yeah, the casino really killed that area. And you know what they're trying to do with that area now?
What?
They're going to turn it into apartments. It's going to be residential now.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
See, and it's just, again, one of those things where they're just trying to put tall buildings up to try and get people to stay in them. And they're saying they're going to, make this be, an industrial city, and they're going to put, factories downtown and all that. Like, again, I'm sorry, but like, nobody wants to come downtown right now. Give them a reason to come downtown and build it up first and then put the apartments up. Give us a reason to want to come back downtown, you know? I remember when they opened up Tin Roof. Okay, I was like, oh man, cool. A cool music venue that's downtown where they're going to be booking a lot of shows. And after year one, it was like, nope, DJs. And I was like, damn it. Like, give me something where I walk by, I hear the music, and that's going to draw me in.
Right.
That's going to draw me in.
It's funny when you think about like Nashville and their main strip that they have down there, and they have cover bands that play there in all of the famous people's bars.
Yeah.
And they play to tips only. They don't get paid to play.
They don't? You know what? It's funny because I thought about that, and I thought I read somewhere that some of those bars down there actually charge you.
Yeah.
Like you have to pay $100 to rent the stage.
That's the way it is in LA.
Yeah.
Everything's pay to play in LA.
That's wild. And I mean, I guess at the same time, if somebody comes up and goes, play Freebird, and you go, oh, I just played it. Sorry. Here's a 20. Make it 100 and I'll do it next. Here's 100. Cool. Every dime you make from there on out, You're banking.
Yeah, but like, I just want to look at those people the bars that do that and be like, don't you make enough money off of drinks?
Yeah. But
Like-
again, nobody's forcing them to come in and rent the stage.
It's about the bottom line.
You know, I bet they don't have a problem keeping the stage full.
And I know 100's not, but of course not.
Yeah.
And 100's not a lot, but it's just like,
Oh, I made that number up. I don't know if that's a real number.
but it's like, okay, if it's packed, what does the artist get? Because, you know, one of my bands used to play the Red Sea, and the guy that owned the Red Sea, he would be counting people that come in, and he'd be like, 1, 4 people walk by, and he wouldn't hit the button.
Yeah.
And at the end of the night, he'd be like, hey man, it was pretty packed downstairs. You had 20 people. You'd be like, nah, dude. There was like 100 and something down there. You'd be like, it's no. You'd be like, are you kidding me right now? Not that I don't even think 100 people could go down there, but he'd be like, there's you had 12 people, and you're like, dude, you're ridiculous. Dude.
Yeah. And did he pay you by head?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, that's crazy.
And it's
there are clubs that use that format successfully, like the Midwest Music Pit. I mean, he used to hire people to hit the counter, and he was honest about it. So
that's good. You know, it's just weird. I think artists get beat up so much by the industry, by bars, and of course, I'm not saying every band is perfect and angels, because there are some bands who take advantage of the beer and the drinking, and they I was in a band like that once. But you know, it's just like, as a musician, you get beat down so much by just, you know, having to have a day job to pay for, you know, your ability to play at a place like this, and finally get to do what you want, and then get beat down while you're doing it. It's just such a, you know, if you're a musician, do it because you love it.
Yeah. And that's what I think a lot of people also don't realize. Like, they think, you know, they hear that you're in Cabo. I think that's it for you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's in Cabo. They're like, oh yeah. What about the rest of the time where I'm at a full-time job?
Yeah.
You know, like, it's not just Cabo. Like, I would love for that to be the full-time job.
Right.
But that's not realistic anymore.
Everybody thought we were rich. It's like, no, we're still working. We're still doing what we got to do. Like, when we toured, I worked on the road.
Yeah.
You know, I woke up every morning at 7 a.m. on the bus, and I made phone calls and worked my job with my 2 business partners. And you know, people would be like, what do you mean you're working? It's like, Warner Brothers has the money.
Yeah.
We're making them money.
Yep.
And then they're upcharging everything they do for us. So, you know, they say it costs this much, and we know that it didn't cost this. Like the price of a CD. When we were signed with Warner Brothers, they charged us $7 to make a CD that we sold for $10.
Oh,
$7. And then they got a piece of that. They got a percentage
of the $3 that you made.
Of the $3 we made, and then we had to pay 10% on breakage fees just right off the bat, because they figured when they ship it, some of those CDs break. So 10% they got. They even charge us 10% breakage on digital. Right? How does that work?
Right.
You know, so it's like
file corrupt.
They just figure out a way.
That's insane.
And you get to a point where you're just like, Jesus. Like, we're making 90 cents on a CD, and and then you got to split that. 4 of us
4 ways. Oh my God. I like, again, this is all the part that people don't see.
Yeah.
This is all the part people don't see. People just see you guys on stage having the time of your life, telling the city that you absolutely love them.
Right.
What they don't see is that behind the scenes, there's a guy in a suit that's fake headbanging on the side of the stage, and he's having a great time because he's counting all the heads out there and how much money he's making that you guys ain't going to even see.
Yep.
Insanity.
Yep. So the evolution of music, as a musician, I would tell musicians just to evolve with the way the industry's going.
Yeah.
Don't stand back and try to fight for, you know, what you think it is. If there's a change, embrace it and try to make the most of it, because it's going to change again, you know?
Yeah.
Like, AI is this new thing, and yeah, it might be something cool, and then just like everything else, AA may not be cool anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There might be something else, or we might go back to the organic No, man, we want to go back to an acoustic.
I was just gonna say the next thing will be an acoustic guitar and a microphone.
And
That's
a microphone, and I want it as raw. I want to hear the mistakes like it was back in the day. I want to hear that hi-fi in the background of a record playing.
Yeah, songs are going to be popular where you can hear them, and in between, verse 1 and the chorus, they screw up and they have to go, oh wait. All right, pick it up again. Here we go. Yeah. And they're just going to leave it in the song. And it's going to be like, see, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real music.
Yeah. And who knows? That could be in 10 years, could be in 3. Who knows? But whatever it does, Cavo's going to, and every band I hope, decides to change to that and just flexible. The end goal is to create music. However you create music, do it. And if people like it, if you do a good job with it, you'll build yourself a little following and whatever else. And then, as an artist, like if you ever wanted to play live, you got to figure out how you're going to do it. Are you going to hire a band? Or are you going to play the tracks? You figure it out and you do what you're going to do. And it's going to be awesome. And you're going to stand on your shit and do what it is that you do.
Yeah. And as long as again, you do it because you love it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that come up to me that they think that I used to work for the rock radio station in town. So I know a lot about rock, and how this works and how to be a band and all this stuff. I don't know nothing, but the one thing I do know is don't go into this looking to make money because you're going to hate it before you even get started. So don't go into it looking to make money. If you're a band and you literally put everything you want behind it and you do this because you love it, then eventually you love something so much, it's going to turn into something that's beautiful.
Yeah. Someone's going to notice.
Yeah, it's going to turn into something that's beautiful. But if you go into this going, I want to be in a band because I want to be famous. I want to be on tour with rock stars. I want to do all this. Within week number 1, you're going to realize how much you hate this.
Yeah.
So don't even attempt it.
Well, it's really just the heartbreak, right?
Yeah.
It's the heartbreak of not getting successful. It's the heartbreak of not getting the money and living like some of these people that you see out there. And so you learn to hate yourself or hate what it is that you did because you weren't as successful. And, do I wish Cavo was, huge like Shinedown or like Hailstorm? Our friends in Hailstorm, we came up with them. Hailstorm is huge. They're phenomenal. They're great. She sang at the Ozzy Osbourne tribute.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about an amazing artist, musician. She can do everything. And her band, fantastic. All of them. They're phenomenal.
And Lizzie Hale kissed me right here.
Oh boy. Check that out. We saw her. She played it in Hailstorm played at Incarceration 2 years ago. I think she's still hitting that final note.
Right?
I mean, it was insane.
Think about this. When we started with them, her mom was her tour manager.
Okay.
And hawked merch when we first started.
Crazy.
We were in a van, they were in an RV, right? And both of us progressed. Next thing you know, we were from RV, van to buses. We're both in buses and this and that, blah, 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 blah. And then now they're huge. Like it's I'm happy to when every time I see them, I love their pictures. I watch their videos and everything else.
Yeah,
because they're our family.
Yeah.
Do I wish Cavo was that? Of course.
Yeah, it'd be silly to not wish that.
But I still we just played a show last week with Puddle of Mud, who we toured with back in the day as well, and so we just did a show with those guys, and just the fact that we got to play.
Yeah,
that was fun. That was our first show in 8 years that we played as a band and played a full set.
Wow, it's been that long, man?
8 years.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we kind of took a step back, and me and Chris were in a bunch of projects. Chris was in Greek Fire. Now I'm in Greek Fire with Chris. Chris did a singer-songwriter deal where he was hired on as a guitar player for this kid. I don't know if he's still doing it, but he was making some wind in the industry, and Chris was playing with him, and Chris did some other things. I was in a couple other projects as well. And, but as Cavo, we were still kind of creating music and releasing stuff, but shows wasn't one of those things. And we just played that show last week, and everybody's hyped, like Casey, Chris, and of course, Andy, who's just got hired on this year as Jim Blossom's drummer.
I've been seeing him all over TikTok, man. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, so what a life.
He just got hired on?
Well,
He's been touring with him for a while.
Yes, but he wasn't the guy. He was the guy
he was
when
filling in.
He was
Yeah.
filling, yeah.
when the drummer couldn't make it. And
Right.
from what having the conversation with him now is, he is their drummer now. He's an
Right.
rad.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Congrats. I know he's
Yeah.
I know he's listening. Congrats.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude. And I'm so happy for him because he didn't get the experience, the tour life that Cavo had when he joined us, because he joined us when we were ending the touring session. Like, he was on our last tour we did with Carnival Madness. It was us, Evanescence, Chevelle, Hailstorm, and us and New Medicine.
Bring me back to that show.
Right? And that was the
Please.
last big tour we did, and he got to experience that, and then everything else was like fly dates and
Yeah.
one-offs. So now he's back in a bus full time. Although when he was filling in, he was doing the same thing, but now he's the guy.
That's awesome.
And
That
so
is.
we're at Cabo, we're happy for him, and we're like, dude, do your thing. We'll, our manager Joe was there, and he had a big smile on our face because we performed well and we had fun, and we were all hyped, and he was hyped, and so we're gonna have conversations about next year and festivals and see what we can do and blah 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 blah. So it's great because as a band Cavo, we're gonna play again. We're gonna play more.
Yeah.
And to see that from the four of us, being apart from each other for long periods of time, 8 years of us maybe seeing each other, a couple of weeks a year as a full group, that we said, yeah, man, let's do this. Let's
love it.
figure it out. And, we're going to book stuff around, Andy's touring schedule.
Yeah.
Cause we're not talking about touring. We're talking about just playing shows.
Yeah. Getting out there again.
Doing a one-off here and there, playing a festival, maybe do a weekend run.
Yeah.
We're figuring out. So we're going to sit with our manager, Joe, and figure it out. We're going to talk about it and see what it is that we can do. And then they'll get to work.
I love it. Now, can I ask for some juicy details? Can
Sure.
I ask for some juicy tea?
Absolutely.
So I know you've been, doing stuff with Greek Fire.
Uh-huh.
People are is there new Greek Fire music coming out?
From what I know, yes.
Okay. All right. Hey, I think I know people have been asking, and like my connection with Moon and all the guys over there, like, people ask me, they're like, hey, you still talk to the fellas? I'm like, yeah, I talk to them all the time. They're like, is Moon still doing Greek Fire? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't heard anything new lately. I'm like, you're going to have to ask him. I'm not in the band. Guess what? He is right now. So I can ask him.
I just got hired on this year, so I'm excited. I'm the low man on the totem pole. I'm the new kid.
So no studio time yet, huh?
We haven't. I think Moon does a lot of the recording himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. He's very talented.
Yeah. He can play any instrument but drums, right? I mean,
and I bet he could figure that
Right.
out.
Yeah, he's uber talented. And,
Yeah.
and look, I get a chance to play with Chris.
Yeah.
Which I'm always going to love to play with Chris. And I get to play with Johnny.
I love Johnny so much.
I love playing with
I just wish he wasn't so ugly because I love that dude.
And Moon is just the man, to play with Moon. Like, I've always been a fan of Story of the Year. And when he started the Greek Fire thing, one of the shows we played Cabo was like, we went up there and he actually talked to us about Greek Fire. And,
Really?
And 15 years later,
Full circle, baby.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
Full circle.
So it's really cool. And he plays in all kinds of bands.
Yeah,
like,
I just saw him a couple weekends ago at Warp Tour,
yeah.
and he's out there doing backflips and doing all kinds of stuff. And
I
I'm
saw
like,
those clips. Yeah.
my God, man.
I mean,
he just it's everything.
Goldfinger. I mean, geez,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
dude is
Story of the year.
uber talented.
Mhm.
And just a hell of a guy. So I'm happy as punch to be with him.
That's awesome, man.
It's going to be a fun experience, and I got some shoes to fill, but it's going to be what it's going to be, and I'm going to have fun doing it.
I think they picked really good feet to fill those shoes.
I agree.
Yeah.
We'll see. I ain't doing no backflips. I'm too old for that.
Better start training.
Pull a hammy. I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, let's do our
Oh, I still didn't agree to any games, but if you want to try and do this, go ahead.
well, it's more of a
Hey, before we do that, can I ask you a question?
absolutely.
Okay. We have a thing Me and you have a thing. Okay. And Joe, I'll fill you in. We have this thing where we can not talk for 4 years.
Right.
And then randomly one of us could just send the other one a message of a obscure, wild, insane would you rather scenario.
Okay.
And
yeah, we did this when you filled in.
Yeah. We did the Would You Rather St. Louis edition.
Yep.
But okay, so ours are not safe for the air. What we normally do. But I came up with a couple.
It's a good thing
that I think are good. Okay.
So you're gonna go light and PC, or I guess not PC, but
I'm gonna go as safe for work as possible.
So that means you got to send me some that are not safe for work.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
I did it. Listen, I got 2 lists. Come on, man. I got 2 lists.
Because some of ours, I go back and look at and start laughing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. And some of them, yeah. All right. So here's one. Would you rather play a show in the middle of nowhere for less than 20 people, and then at the end of the gig, find out you've been stiffed for all the money, you make $0, or play in front of a sold out crowd, but you are in a porta potty after a 3-day festival for the entire set?
Oh my God.
So you're either playing for nobody in the middle of nowhere for no money, or you're at a sold out show. The whole entire stadium is filled, but you're on the stage inside of a porta potty that has been occupied.
So you're playing inside the porta potty?
He's playing
the
his whole
show's still
set.
going on?
Everybody else is on stage having a great time. Where the bass position is, there's a porta potty. Pookie's in there.
Right.
Pookie's in there with the Duke.
I have a problem with porta potties because there was once we were on tour and we played a festival and we got there late and the crews of like 20, 30 bands destroyed the porta potty that we had.
Yeah.
That I actually had to use my per diem to call a cab to come pick me up to drive me to a gas station. And I said, wait right here. Went in and did my business and got back and drove him back. And it was like 30 something bucks.
I would have done the same thing.
Unbelievable. I would have just made myself sick. Because there have been situations where I've just made myself physically ill to the point where I'm like, I think I may die, but I'm not going to do that here.
See, people don't know this, but to poop on a bus, it's like, well, it was like $500. Now it's probably more. That's the fee to clean it.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they would do is they would hot box it, which I will never do. That's where you take a bag and you put it in a toilet and you do it. There's no way I'm ever doing that.
You've told stories of these on the show.
Yeah. So, do we get the money though?
No.
Like
if you play in the porta potty, you're playing in front of a stadium. It's a sold out crowd.
I love my boys. I do the stadium. And
look at this guy. Potty. Look at this guy.
Because that would benefit all of us.
Well, the only reason why I would have taken the $0 is to just play the show. But if you can play the show in the porta potty,
yeah, you can play the show in the porta potty for sure.
I mean, I'd be puking the entire time. I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, here's a more tame one. This is just curiosity, really. Would you rather open up a main stage or close out a side stage at a festival? Personally.
I'm going to say the main stage because I've never played the main stage.
Okay.
I think I've only played side stages, and I think we've closed out several. So it's something I've already done.
Got it.
But I've never been on that main stage. So I've been on the main stage, not for a festival. No, we've never. Have we? I don't think we have. Like we've opened up for huge bands and in big
arenas,
big
and
arenas
like
and stuff, but a festival. I don't think we've ever opened up a main stage on a festival. I think we've closed several side stages, but never. Yeah, I would do the open up.
Rad
on a main stage.
I love it. Okay, flip side. It's cold. Let's just pretend it's cold.
Okay.
Would you rather play in front of a sold out arena while you are completely naked, or have the entire sold out crowd be naked, but everybody is your mom?
Oh,
I'm playing naked all day long, dude.
It was good until the twist.
Because I'm a high rider, but my new bases are really big, so we'd cover that up. So they wouldn't see it anyway, so it's all good.
So you just go flea on them, huh?
Yep.
You just go straight flea on them.
But they'd be like, we can't see anything. I'd be like, I know.
All right, this is just a question that I'm trying to fact find here, but see if you can follow along. Would you rather have your band have a mega smash hit of the cover song of a song that you absolutely hate, your least favorite song ever? Or would you rather get your big break by going on a world tour with that band and have to hear that every single night?
That one, because I could sit back and go, God, these guys suck.
And at least you're playing your own music.
Yeah.
Do you have a song that you consider your least favorite song?
That's a cover?
No. It doesn't even have to be a cover. I'm saying your band would cover it and that would make you guys explode.
Oh.
So your least favorite song of all time, your band covers it and it becomes a smash hit. And that's how you guys, have to make your money.
Right.
Is playing the song you hate the most over and over.
I'm trying to
again.
think if there's a song of ours that I hate.
It would have to be, for me, it would have to be like Backstreet Boys or
something
like
from the
Britney
boy band
Spears.
era.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think there's a song of ours that I hate.
Well, it doesn't even have to be your song. It could be any song out there, just a song that you personally hate. You go, this song sucks, but you guys play it on a stage somewhere and it explodes.
If Moni, if I play
Oh, okay. All right.
I was in a cover band that played that damn freaking song and it was not even at weddings. We do it in the cover scene here in St. Louis, and somebody would go, it's that one and Blister in the Sun, like those.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I've heard that every time I've ever played, seen any band play.
Those
Well,
two,
even as a DJ, I'm sure you play the hell out of that song.
Gross.
those two songs, those two songs are like needles in the eye, and I just go. And the guys who did it, cool, great song, very catchy. There's an earworm there. But the fact that we could play something really cool, we play a Rage song or something, and after that, some girl come on, play Blister in the Sun, and I'd be like, I want to kick you in the eye.
Yeah, I always tell people, I'm like, dude, just because I say that is my least favorite song, doesn't mean I don't think that it's somebody's favorite song.
Yeah.
I didn't say the song sucks. I just said that's my least favorite song. I can't stand it
Right.
because no matter what, Moni, I'm not going to go listen to that song, but that song's better than anything I've ever put out.
Right. I mean,
Facts.
I got it. Blister in the Sun was one of those songs that, for the amount of cover life that Brian Smith played in, I play that every night.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's like, can we not play that one tonight?
Yeah, let's just skip it.
Can we not? And then there's always the girl, you guys didn't play Blister in the Sun. Can you play it? And she's like,
No, we can't.
And our singer's like, yeah, Blister in the Sun.
Let's go.
No!
All right, that's all I got. Those are. I just wanted to
right.
let people get in on our little joke, on the very PG version of that joke. So.
All right, so my questions for you were just random. I put a bunch of silly questions in the folder, and you got to pick 2 or 3.
Yep.
You only have to answer 2 of them.
Okay.
Do you remember those, or do you?
I remember. I think I
can
kind of
recap.
Okay,
for
please
you.
do.
So we have 2 food ones and then one about music.
Okay. All right.
So the food one should be easy. So if you want to answer all 3, then
Bring it.
Okay.
Listen, I'm a chatty Cathy. Let's go.
let's
Bring
start
'em.
with the food. Twinkies or ding dongs?
Man, I'm gonna have to go Twinkies here,
Really?
and I'll tell you. Let me tell you why. I'm not a big fan of chocolate.
What?
Ah.
That's not true. You love me.
I was just gonna say. I feel bad saying this sitting across from you.
Really?
Yeah, I'm more of a vanilla guy, and I don't hate chocolate. Just if I always have the option to pick, here's a chocolate cheesecake or a strawberry cheesecake, I'll always go strawberry.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it's also because I think Twinkies are just so iconic. And I don't eat either, to be honest with you. I don't eat either.
Right.
So if I was going to go and be like, I need to go eat a sweet here, it would probably be Twinkie.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What about the chocolate dial? You didn't like the chocolate dials
Nope.
back in the day?
Nope. And that's why I like,
It's like a
have you ever
chocolate
heard,
Twinkie.
you see the zingers? You know what zingers are? It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Twinkie with the icing on top. Like vanilla zingers are awesome. I want those so bad.
Really?
Zebra cakes. I'm down with zebra cakes
See,
too.
I'm a vanilla ice cream guy.
Me too.
My
Vanilla
ice
ice
cream
cream.
has to be vanilla, French vanilla, vanilla bean.
Yeah.
That's my jam. But when it comes to Hostess cakes, I'm doing ding dong. Ding dong's my favorite.
Now,
over
are
everything.
ding dong? No, that's this. I maybe should have clarified this before I just shouted out my answer of Twinkies. Are ding dongs the hockey pucks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I do like me a ding dong in the freezer.
Yeah.
Nobody clip that, by the way. Nobody clip that. But
That's totally going to be
no, we're not going to clip that. But yes, putting those delicious chocolatey treats in the freezer is pretty spectacular. You throw a Twinkie in the freezer, it ruins it because then it becomes like a flaky.
Yeah.
But the ding dong holds up.
Wow.
Can we please
Wow.
call it something else?
Wow. Wow.
What?
That just surprised me.
That I picked Twinkie over ding dong?
Over the most magical Hostess snack cake there is the Ding
No.
Dong.
No.
It's the
What
Ding
else
Dong.
is Hostess? Because I'm sure there's 1,000 things
Suzy
better than
Q.
Suzy Cube,
Suzy Q is better than a ding dong.
the
You
chocolate.
think so?
The Hostess cupcakes with the swirl, with the ganache on top with the white swirl.
Yeah.
Way better than a ding dong.
Oh, you and I are fighting after this.
Then
podcast.
bring it. I mean, let's move some furniture. If you want to get into it, get into it.
Let me get the cameras ready.
I mean, come on, you buy tickets. Let's go.
You're gonna be limping out of this place. Okay.
I'd have to put my
Play you
ding
like
dong
a
in the
bass
freezer.
guitar.
Man, that's crazy.
All right, so
Twinkie over Ding Dong.
I can't believe I just changed our entire friendship over one answer. It's ridiculous.
I still love you. I just look at
I
your
still
side.
love you. I just said I'd physically assault you because you like Twinkies over ding
That's out of
dongs.
love. I got to get you to change your mind.
I'm gonna walk out limping.
He's gonna be driving. Maybe I will try a Ding Dong.
We got to stop at the gas station, babe.
Went on Audio Inc. and became a Ding Dong fan.
Oh, God. Well, the last time I was in this studio, I'm pretty sure I said, I love rollerblading.
Yeah, you did.
And I haven't rollerbladed in 15 years.
Well, thanks for recapping. I can clip that one.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Jackass.
All right, McDonald's fries or Lion's Choice fries?
I have an easy answer here.
okay,
There's only one answer.
Okay, but before you chime in, I just want to say, Lion's Choice is a St. Louis staple.
I know it is. I definitely know that Lion's Choice is a St. Louis staple.
And one's probably way better for you than the other.
And that's totally fine.
Let's hear it. What's your answer?
McDonald's fries.
No,
You're son of a.
It's McDonald's fries. I'm sorry. I
No.
love Lion's
Gross.
Choice. I love Lion's Choice fries.
Taste way better.
I love Lion's Choice fries and getting the seasoning on the fries. Give me a little
Yes.
extra
So-
seasoning.
Yes.
Give me a couple little to-go
Yes.
containers so I could sprinkle that on there.
Yes.
Down with it. Give me some cheese sauce. I'll dip those Lion's Choice fries in some cheese sauce too.
Yes.
I love all of it. McDonald's fries never miss, baby.
Dude,
Yeah, so
you're
you'd
Even
rather-
a terrible McDonald's fry is better than a Lion's Choice
You'd rather
fry.
eat something that doesn't mold, that looks the same, no matter how long it sits underneath the
Joe,
seat
if
of
I'm
your
eating a
car.
French fry, I'm not thinking about what's in it, man.
I am.
You're eating a French fry that's probably cooked in oil that you could put in your car. And
Right.
run. It's
That's
like
fine. And
super
there's a bajillion other people on this planet
Yeah.
that like it too. I'm not hating on
and
Lion's
you're
Choice.
all wrong.
I feel attacked.
wrong.
I feel attacked.
You
Remember
deserve
how-
to be attacked
No,
right now.
I do not.
The St. Louis
I do
staple.
not.
Lion's Choice
You act
fries.
like I came on this show and I said death to Lion's Choice. All I
I
said was
feel
you
like
gave
you
me
did.
an option.
I feel like you did.
gave me an option.
and
I'm
your
like,
option sucked.
you gave me McDonald's fries. If you wanted me to pick Lion's Choice, you should have said Lion's Choice fries or nothing else. You gave me an option. I'm sorry that
I gave
option.
you an option that a normal person would have been like,
Now ask me if it's a quarter pounder or a Lion's Choice sandwich. Ask me that question, Joe.
quarter pounder or a regular roast beef sandwich.
It's a regular roast beef sandwich.
I just want to get this straight. This is Pookie's game now.
But whatever, Joe. You sure as hell have been involved in Pookie's game.
So wait. So you're gonna choose the burger, or you're gonna choose the roast beef sandwich over the burger,
Yeah, sure.
but you're gonna take the fries from
Yeah.
McDonald's, the crappy,
You,
disgusting.
crappy to you, not crappy to me.
So why would you choose the roast beef sandwich over the burger?
Because the roast beef sandwich is delicious, and I enjoy that roast beef sandwich. I like their roast beef. When I go to Lion's Choice, I would like to get some roast beef.
So-
Maybe even get a potato, split it
Yeah.
on there, get the sandwich on there, drizzle the sauce, a little chipotle ranch they got going on. Again, get some of that cheese sauce. Get that going on there, Joe.
So-
it's real good.
So it's not
Delicious.
the fact that it's healthier for you, the roast beef sandwich, than the burger.
Hell no.
So health doesn't play a factor in your choice of food at all.
If I'm going to McDonald's or Lion's Choice, health is not on my mind.
But why would you go to McDonald's anyway?
Because it's right by my house and I had rewards points. And the snack wrap is back. What do you mean?
The snack?
Yeah, so you
Yeah,
don't go
the
to
snack
McDonald's?
wrap is
You don't
good.
you don't go to
Yeah.
McDonald's?
I don't think I've been to a McDonald's in a couple of years.
You and your muscles can get the hell out of here. And you don't
I
go
haven't
because
been-
of
I
health
haven't-
options?
Yes. Yeah. I have not.
Nah.
I have not been to a
I also got
McDonald's
little
in
kids.
5 years or more.
I also got younger kids who are obsessed with McDonald's.
Yeah.
I know I'm a terrible parent for giving it to them,
kids-
right?
kids, it's hard.
Oh, what a terrible dad.
I will say I used to love the McNuggets.
McNuggets are still a jam. They changed them a little bit.
Did they?
My lady out there will tell you they changed it. We'll get a nugget. She'll take a bite. She'll go, the spreading has changed. I'm like, I just don't understand why one is always in the shape of the Buddha Italy.
My
That's not a part of a chicken.
yeah, that's true. My jam back in the day was a McDouble and a 20-piece nugget.
Yeah, that's a jam order. That's I mean, when I was 400 plus pounds, my order was usually a double quarter pounder with cheese, a large fry, and 20-piece nugget.
I don't.
And I would be like,
about it.
I'm giving some of this to the dog, and they would be lucky to get a nugget and a half, and I'd power through everything else.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about my order.
I mean, we were monsters, man. I mean, Joe
Yeah.
was there too. We were both
Yeah.
big boys.
Yep.
Damn, I can't believe you picked McDonald's.
I had a
fries.
disgusting
I mean, I feel
order.
like whatever the next question is, we might as well throw that right out the window. I'll probably give the wrong answer.
Well, it may be
What is it? I
Cabo
forgot.
and new music.
Sucks. What next? I mean, what? Apparently, I'm giving the wrong answer to everything. So Cavo's new music sucks.
I'm just gonna have to cut you now.
Nah, I don't. Like with a knife. I mean,
I got a little paper. cut.
yeah. So you stay over there, okay? You stay over there. What ask me questions about Cavo. I mean, I love Cavo.
Would you rather see Cabo play a big stadium of Bright Nights, Dark Days,
Okay.
or Cabo come out with new music for the next 5-10 years, a record every 2 years, full record, but play places the size we only see us in places the size of Del Mar Hall, but new music.
Second
Constantly.
option.
Right
New
on.
music, Del Mar Hall.
Right on.
Because again, I don't need to see my favorite band in an arena. Sometimes the shows at Del Mar Hall, at Off Broadway, at the Duck Room, R.I.P. Cicero's, some of my favorite moments of seeing live music here in St. Louis aren't at Enterprise Center or Hollywood Casino
Right
or the Factory. Yes, I have great memories there, but some of the times I have been talking about this a lot lately, and I don't know why, but like I had the opportunity to see Fall Out Boy at the Creepy Curl. When they did that, they announced
wow.
the show 24 hours before when they would come into a city and they would play the tiniest club.
Yeah.
And I got to see that. And it's like, that was awesome. So if you say a band that I love, putting out new music every 2 years, I'm getting new music from them every 2 years, and I could still go see them in a venue that sounds fantastic, that looks fantastic, and they still can bring it, I'm down.
And it's
That's
a more
awesome.
intimate experience too.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny. I saw 30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah.
I saw them at Pops.
Yeah,
on
that's
the
unbelievable.
Beautiful Lie. It was a free show. And I was a fan of theirs because I saw them open up for Incubus, another Point show. And then I guess they came back around a year and a half later, and they had that Beautiful Lie. It was a free show that the Point threw on, and it was phenomenal. It was great, and there was maybe 200-300 people there.
That's insane. I always tell this story. One of my favorite concert memories of all time. There was a show at Mississippi Nights. I can't remember. It was like Kings of the Game or Kings of something tour. Okay. I will go backwards from headliner to opener. Okay. And you'll see why I do this. The headliner was POD.
Oh,
Before POD was Head PE.
oh, geez.
Before Head PE was a band called Project 86. And before Project 86, the opening band that played 4 songs was a band called Linkin Park.
Oh, dang.
All bands with P's in them. Just I don't know why I noticed that.
Yep, sure is.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah. And
dude.
so I saw that was at Mississippi Nights. And I went, yep, that was awesome. And I remember going and they were like hanging out in the corner. Remember how bands used to go in the corner and hang out where the merch was?
Yep.
And I remember they were just standing there. And I remember I went up and I'm pretty sure it was just Shinoda. And I remember I went up and I was like, hey man, that was awesome. And he was like, here you go. And he gave me some CD that had like 12 tracks on it. That wasn't just them. They were one of the, whatever the label was given out. Remember they used to do those
Samples,
labels,
CD
sampler
samplers.
CDs.
How much do you think that CD's worth?
I mean, I wish I still had it, probably
Right.
a gajillion
Wow.
dollars, but
Dude,
like
that's awesome.
it was that moment with that band. And I think I was like a sophomore in high school, so it was like right before they like blew up. And it was just one of those moments where I don't get that experience if I see that band at the pageant.
Right.
You know, seeing them at that small venue as they're on their rise is something very special. So to go back and say, seeing a band that I love like Cavo in an intimate setting, you really connect a lot more with the music. And I've always found that to be the case as well.
Right on. That's awesome. Cool, brother. Well, I appreciate you coming down and being on the show.
Absolutely, man. Anytime.
It's our second rendition. We're gonna get this thing popping. But I appreciate you coming down, and
for sure, man.
You're always welcome if you ever want to pop in and jump on and talk to me and Joe. We're always here.
Well, Love it. Do you want to promote your show on?
Oh yeah, sure.
590?
Yeah. So I'm doing a new show every Monday and Wednesday from 3 o'clock until 4 o'clock. Myself, my fiance Mary Beth. It's called The Sounds of STL. Again, 5:90 a.m. You can also find it anytime streaming. All the podcasts are up there at luinfo.com. We talk about music, man. Each and every week we're adding songs to the official Sounds of STL playlist. Awesome. Last week we talked about cover songs. On the way here, I made Mary Beth listen to Come Undone.
Oh, nice.
So like, we're talking about cover songs. We're talking about music in St. Louis. Every single Friday, I host a show called The Weekend where I let everybody know from concerts to farmers markets what's going on in the St. Louis area. So they are able to go and check out not only whether it be music, but like things to do with your family. I constantly say, I've lived here 40 years. I've always lived in St. Louis, and there are still things today that I'm finding out.
Right on.
So like when I find those things out, I want to share it with St. Louis, let them know where they can go and do stuff. So luinfo.com. And last and final thing is every Saturday at 11 o'clock, I host a show called Wrestling on the Spectrum. It's myself, Brody the Brain Herman, and JC. We talk all things wrestling, and we love people calling in and yelling at us about wrestling. So it's a lot of fun. So that's every Saturday. All that stuff, luinfo.com.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. I'll have to have you come in and sit on the show with me.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk St. Louis a little bit more in depth, man. I think that would be great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'll play some of the Cavo covers.
Yeah, baby. I'm down.
You can get a sneak peek of what's coming.
I love it. Yes, please. Let's do it. Let's do it, man.
Awesome, brother. Well, again, I appreciate you, man. I love you. I always did. And
for sure.
You owe me some Would You Rathers.
I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up. I will.
And we got to grab dinner sometime.
Yes, I'm down, of course.
We keep missing each other.
Yeah, McDonald's fries on me, man. I'm totally down.
I'm out. We're going to Lion's Choice, and you're going to eat fries, and you're going to love it.
And you're going to love them. We're not leaving until you say you love them.
Well, again, I appreciate you, brother. I love you, and hopefully I'll see you at a Cavo show.
Yes,
or a Greek
of course
Fire
you will.
show.
Get out of here. Of course you will.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, I love you.
I love you too, man.
And we'll get this thing going.
Yes, sir.
I feel